we are going to move on to modes. Modes are my favorite thing to teach because they're just so interesting. It gives you so much more to play with instead of just, sticking to the major and minor scales that everyone is just so used to and everyone pretty much knows. So, question for you. Do you know how many modes there are? It's totally fine if you guess. It's totally fine if you know. Okay, because we're going to go through them. All right, so there are 7 modes. Okay, so I'm just going to list them out here for you. So we have Ionian, Dorian. These are in order, by the way. Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and then finally we have Locrian. Okay, so again, these are all in order. And when I say in order, I will kind of explain what I mean. So we're going to just kind of split it up a little bit. So we're going to look at the first 3 modes, okay? So Ionian is just the same as our modern major scale. So if we just kind of do... Okay, so this is C. That's Ionian. It's just the same thing as the modern major scale. Okay? Next one is Dorian. Okay, so it's a natural minor scale, okay, but it's a raised 6th interval. Okay, so it's a major 6th instead of a minor 6th. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here. Now, this one, if we were to think of Ionian as in C, okay, now you know that C is all the white keys, right? Now, if we move up, so Dorian would start on D, just keep using all the white keys, and that will be what Dorian will sound like, okay? Do you hear the 6th? Right there. Okay, one more time. 6th. Because we should know, hopefully, that D minor has a flat. That's B flat. But with this raised 6, we're just using regular B. So we're still using all the white keys, okay? So it's kind of an interesting sound to it. Okay, and then the next one is Phrygian. Okay, so the Phrygian is a natural minor scale, again, but in this one, we have a lowered 2nd. Okay, so instead of a major 2nd, we have a minor 2nd. Okay, which is, again, very interesting. So Ionian will say in this, in this example, Ionian will start on C. Dorian starts on D. Now, Phrygian would start on E. Okay, now, again, we're only using the white keys, okay? Just for this example. Of course, there's Ionian in all the different notes, all the different keys. We can have G Ionian, we can have B Dorian, we can have G Phrygian. Okay, but I'm just saying for this example, we're just kind of simplifying it and just using all the white keys. As if we were just, sticking with C as our base for like Ionian, okay? So now Phrygian... Okay, again, we start on E for Phrygian in this example. And again, we're only using the white keys. Okay, so you'll hear what it sounds like. Right? So that's your lowered 2nd. Your minor 2nd right there. But everything else is the same as a minor, the minor scale, E minor. Okay, you would technically have an F sharp, right? But we have the minor here. But everything else is the same. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Now, I'm sure we know plenty of examples of Ionian just because it's so prevalent. So I will give you some examples of Dorian and Phrygian. So Dorian, okay, we have songs like Billie Jean from Michael Jackson. I'm gonna raise the piano volume a bit. We have traditional song Scarborough Fair, which I think a lot of you know. And for those who love VGM, because that's what I do, is I make video game arrangements, there's Cyan's theme from Final Fantasy VI. Okay, so I'm gonna try to play. Right, so what I said C, because it's in C, right? Okay, so again. Right, so that's an example of Dorian. Okay, now, next, oh, where are you? There you are. Next, Phrygian. Okay, so some examples of Phrygian. We have some more, I guess you can say classic composers or just composers from, you know, earlier on. We have Liszt, we have Vaughan Williams, okay? And then we have another video game track, so Battle with Magus from Chrono Trigger. So Magus, when you hear the very beginning, the melody, when the melody first comes in, it's just descending, right? It's just kind of going down. What it's doing actually is it's outlining the Phrygian scale. So it starts off like this, right? Right? That's basically how it starts. And then basically what we do, we have right? So that's basically, that's Phrygian. Right? Again, there's that minor second. And again, this is an E, right? So you can just play along if you'd like. Just start on E and just go down from E to E, just playing the white keys. And you're playing a Phrygian scale. So you could basically, that's just the first part of Battle of Magus. I just taught you Battle of Magus, right? Da, 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 da. Right? So that's kind of cool. Now, we'll look at the last 4 modes, okay? And then I think we will be done for this presentation. So next we are going to learn Lydian, okay? So Lydian is a major scale, but the 4th, okay, the 4th interval is raised. So instead of a perfect 4th, which we always have for either major or minor, okay, this one's an augmented 4th, which just means it's raised, okay? So it's going from perfect, if you raise a perfect interval, it becomes augmented. If you lower a perfect interval, it becomes diminished, okay? So just remember that. Now this causes a tritone. So I wonder how many of you have heard the term tritone before? Okay, so I'll give you an example. That's a tritone. Doesn't exactly sound too pleasant, does it? I don't really like how it sounds. But the way you can determine a tritone is if you kind of go walk it up. So I just did F and B. That's a tritone. But if you go F to G is a whole step, right? Okay, okay. Now from G to A is a whole step, right? Okay. Now from A to B is a whole step. Okay. So a tritone is 3 whole steps. Okay. When you have 2 notes that are 3 whole steps away, that is a tritone. That's where the tri comes from, is 3. Okay. It's 3 whole steps. Okay. So that's what a tritone is. Okay. So Lydian has a tritone in it. Interesting. Next one is Mixolydian. Okay. So, let me just do quickly Lydian. Well, I mean, I started on F. Lydian, if you want to continue with this white key thing, Lydian starts on F. And again, just play the white keys. Right? It sticks out, right? So that's what a Lydian scale sounds like. Again, just starting that on F. Okay, now next is Mixolydian. Okay, again, a major scale, but this one has the 7th lowered. Okay, so it has a minor 7th instead of our typical major 7th or leading tone. So this one is my favorite. I will tell you why in a second, but I will play it for you. Okay, so this one you would start on G. Okay, and again, just playing the white notes. Okay, the white keys. Right there, 7th. Okay, so kind of cool. I like that one a lot. Now, next one is Aeolian. Okay, now this is the same as our modern natural minor scale. Okay, so again, if we're just doing the white keys, you start on A, right? Because Mixolydian was G, Lydian was F, so F, G. Next one is A for Aeolian. Okay, here we go. All white keys. That should sound very common and very natural for you because we hear Aeolian so much. It's just the same thing as a natural minor scale. Okay, again, that starts on A if you want to play along. Okay, then the last one is Locrian. Okay, so this one is a bit tricky. So basically, it's a natural minor scale, but it has a lowered 2nd and a diminished 5th. Again, remember I said anything that's a perfect interval, if you lower it, it becomes diminished, okay? So we have a minor 2nd and a diminished 5th for this one. Okay, it is hard to use. There's really no feeling of resolution, okay, in this one. So that's why it's kind of hard to find examples of composers who have used Locrian. But I will still play it for you. So Locrian would start on B, okay? And yep, I'm good. Let's just play this so you can kind of get a feel for how it sounds. See, even just going up and down the scale, it doesn't really sound resolved at all, right? Sounds a little interesting. So that's Locrian, okay? Now again, we have so many examples of Aeolian. Okay, so here's some examples of the other modes, so you can kind of just read these. So Lydian is kind of cool. Space Junk Galaxy is this, right? Right? That's, look, there's that tritone, right? Okay, so that's just the beginning of Space Junk Galaxy. If I had the actual piano near me, I would play the actual thing with the melody for you, but just that's enough to see that it's in Lydian. Okay? Awesome. Now, next one, Mixolydian. So I'll play Millennial Fair. So this is why it's my favorite, because just the feel that Mitsuda just got with Millennial Fair, so medieval and just it sounds so cool. I love Millennial Fair so much. So I will play it for you. Just give me 1 second. There we go. Okay, so we basically have right? Now this part. Let me actually go up an octave. Right? So we have like D major, but we have this lowered 7th. So that's our lowered 7th. That's where it's Mixolydian, everyone. It's awesome. I'll play it one more time. Okay. Oh, I love that song. Okay, and then lastly, Locrian. Okay, so I have some examples here. I'm not going to play any of these because I couldn't find an example of a video game track in Locrian, because again, it's hard to find examples because it sounds so unresolved. But we do have Rachmaninoff and we do have Sibelius. There's a symphony in A minor that incorporates Locrian. So if you are curious about that, I would check out those two examples, okay? All right, so the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is this, okay, little reference for you. Now, these are all in C, right? They all start with C, okay? So it'd be C Ionian, C Dorian, C Phrygian, C Lydian, and so on, okay? So you can see how there's all these different flats that are added, and Lydian has a sharp that's added. So you can start all of these on C. If you can read the music, you can play all of these, and you can hear what each mode sounds like. Or if you want, like I said, you can just stick with C, all the white keys, and then go up, right? Dorian would start on D, Phrygian would start on E, Lydian F, Mixolydian G, Aeolian A, and Locrian would be B. Okay? Thank you guys so much for staying the entire time. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys learned something. And again, if you guys do want me to do another one of these, please let me know in the comments, because I would really love to do these, but only if enough people are interested. So I think that's it for today. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.